Hi, and welcome to Cat Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today I have a comic review for you guys. So this is Middlewest issue 3, and this is the continued story of Abel and Fantastic Mr. Fox, because that is what I'm calling the fox, until Scotty Young decides to actually give him a name. Yeah, that's right. I'm a little bitter about it. But before we dive on into this review, I did do reviews of both issues 1 and 2, so please do check those out if you haven't already. All right, so diving right back on into the story, we get to see Abel and Mr. Fox continuing on their journey, and they're discussing rations, and Abel saying, "Hey, you want some of this?" And Fox saying, "Hell yeah." He's like, "No, you're supposed to say, no, Abel, you go ahead. You have all of it." And he's like, "No, I'm far too hungry to be that nice." And instead, they decide to continue on their quest, which of course, Fox isn't that excited about. So continuing on, we get to see quite a bit more of the Middlewest and just them as a whole, dealing with what exactly happened with Abel's father. Was that thing that he turned into, was it still his dad? I mean, what all does this mean? I mean, his dad could be pretty rough, but does he still love him? Is it still normal? Are they still family? A lot of issues there, a lot of emotions. But back in Farmton, Abel's hometown, after dealing with this horrible tornado, they see Abel's father walking around naked after being a tornado and destroying their town. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" So everyone's dealing. You get to see all of the wreckage that is left out of this small community. And very strategic shadowing, shall we say. And they're all saying, the storm, it came out of nowhere. And they're asking him, "Where's your son? Where's Abel?" And that's when he sees a picture of him, his wife, and his son. And it hits him. He needs to find his son. So he ends up actually collapsing, and all of his neighbors rush him to the hospital to get him checked out. So after a number of different tests, the doctors, they need to tell him that there's an infection in his body, in his blood system, and they're not sure exactly where his son is. It was a pretty bad storm, and there were search teams looking everywhere for survivors. It's been a couple days. No one's seen him yet. And of course, that's when he decides he's got to go. His boy needs him. He needs to find Abel. And it doesn't matter who tries to get in his way. A police officer that he knows, a doctor, a well-wishing neighbor. He's going to go find his son, because that's what he has to do. So we see Abel's father set out and trying to track his son down. And continuing on to Abel and Fantastic Mr. Fox's journey on foot, they decide that they're getting closer to their destination, and 40 miles on foot. That's not that bad, right? No, it's pretty bad. It pretty much sucks for like anyone. So that is when they approach an old covered bridge. And that's what Fox is saying, maybe we should find another way. And Abel's saying, "What, you're afraid of a little bridge?" He's like, "No, I'm not afraid of a bridge. I'm afraid of what normally lives in a bridge, otherwise known as a troll." And that is when we meet the troll of the bridge. And if you want to cross said bridge and survive, then you have to pass his test. You have to pass his riddle. So you have to do it before the time runs out. His riddle goes, I am all about, but never seen. I can be harnessed, but never held. I have no voice, but you hear my whistles. I can be blocked, but never quelled. Who am I?
Ooh, can I say it?
Yeah, you can say it. We both knew exactly what this was, though. What is it?
Wind.
Ding, ding, ding. So, of course, I think the troll actually cheated, because not only did he start the timer before he even started the riddle, but even as Abel actually states the answer, he's like, no, we're out of time, so you're gonna die. And when both Abel and the fox attempt to flee, he lets down that slatted cover. So there's really no way of getting out until, thankfully, Abel is once again able to harness that power that we saw from him earlier on, and he's able to shoot through to the sky. And what happens when a troll is touched by direct sunlight? They turn to stone. So thankfully, both Abel and our fox are safe, and they're able to hitch a ride in the back of this wagon truck, and they're just doing anything they can to get a little bit closer until they find the place they're going, until they realize that they've made it. The Hearst Family Circus and the marvelous mystic mind of Magdalena. So that is it for this issue of Middlewest. I'm definitely excited to see what Magdalena could possibly do for these two. I'm excited to see what exactly will happen when both Abel and his father are reunited once again. There's a lot of emotions there. They've both been through a lot. I want answers as to what's going on with Abel's chest, as to what is going on with all of his father's body, because Abel's just covered right here in the chest. His father is covered all over his arms and his back and his entire chest. So what exactly is this power that they both have, and how are we going to solve it? How are we going to fix this possibly? So that is it for this episode of Cat Run Figures. Please do give me a like if you like this video. Comment below and tell me whether or not you've been checking out Middlewest and whether or not you are enjoying it as much as I am. Please do subscribe to my channel for more comic book content, or check out any of the older videos I have for offer here on Cat Run Figures. Like I said, I did do reviews of both issues 1 and 2, so please do check those out if you haven't already. And yeah, until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.